You're reading your horoscope, and it says, you're going through a period of change and self-discovery. And you're like, oh my God, that's so me. Meanwhile, literally everyone else reading it is thinking the exact same thing. You feel seen. They feel seen. It's vague enough to apply to anyone, but you're convinced it's about you specifically. Why do smart people believe in astrology when it's been scientifically debunked? The answer isn't about intelligence. It's about psychology. The belief in astrology can be attributed to psychological factors that tap into how people think, perceive, and emotionally engage with information. Let's break down why your brain falls for it. First, confirmation bias. You pay closer attention to and remember astrological predictions that align with your knowledge, aspirations, and desires, while ignoring evidence that doesn't support them. You remember the hits and forget the misses. This selective attention reinforces the conviction that astrology works. Your horoscope says you'll have a challenging week, and then you get stuck in traffic. You think, see, it was right. But you ignore the 10 other predictions that didn't come true. Next, the Barnum Effect. This refers to your tendency to interpret vague or general statements as specific enough to have been tailored for you, when in fact, those same elements could apply to many people. When a reading says, you value honesty, but sometimes struggle to express your true feelings, that's not personal, that's universal. But your brain makes it feel personal. Then there's cognitive dissonance. You don't like admitting you were wrong or wasted time and money on something invalid. So when you discover astrology isn't scientifically sound, you're more likely to continue believing to avoid psychological discomfort. It's easier to double down than admit you were fooled. Social proof plays a role too. Seeing large groups believe in astrology, not to mention its long history, can lead you to adopt the same attitude. The more widespread a belief, the more it seems valid or trustworthy. If everyone's doing it, it must be legit, right? Wrong. But your brain doesn't care. Pattern recognition is another factor. Humans are naturally wired to recognize patterns. That's helpful when connecting to the world, but it becomes faulty when we find patterns where none exist. You believe astrological readings because they seem to reveal connections between celestial movements and your life events. But those connections? They're imaginary. Self-serving bias also makes astrology appealing. You're more likely to believe predictions when they're positive or flattering. Astrology often offers uplifting or ego-boosting insights. Sugar-coated messages contribute to your tendency to believe the readings. Who doesn't want to hear they're destined for greatness? And then there's the need for meaning or purpose. Astrological readings help some people make sense of the world and find personal meaning. It's easier to believe in a method that seems to provide meaningful guidance. In times of uncertainty, people become more susceptible to believing in astrology. The seemingly clear answers create the false idea of order within chaos. Finally, the placebo effect and emotional reasoning. Even though astrology isn't scientifically valid, it can trigger positive psychological outcomes for believers. Similar to medical placebos, astrological charts can enhance your self-confidence, motivation, and emotional comfort. This turns astrology into an unlikely coping mechanism. It helps you navigate stress by providing comfort and the appearance of clarity. When something feels good, you often erroneously conclude that it must also be correct. This cognitive distortion is known as emotional reasoning. So, what does this all mean? Believing in astrology isn't about being gullible or unintelligent. It's about how your brain is wired to seek patterns, avoid discomfort, crave meaning, and feel validated. These psychological mechanisms blend emotion, cognitive biases, and cultural influences rather than scientific validity. The next time you read your horoscope and think, wow, that's so accurate, remember, it's not. It's just your brain doing what brains do, looking for meaning even when there isn't any. And that's perfectly human.